Hey gorgeous! I wanted to come on here really quickly and flip the script on you. I'm taking you outside, you see? It's drizzling a bit, but it's not so cold. It's quite warm, hence I'm in like a light jacket. But I had to come out here to introduce today's video. So today we're going to be talking about engagement. Yes, because on the webinar that's coming up, I'm going to show you how to build your massive reach. I'm going to share with you how I was able to go from 25 people in my community who were all family and friends. Um, Actually, a lot of them were the friends of my little sister. Wow. And now I have over 11,324 people and counting in all my platforms together. And I'm going to be sharing with you how I was able to do that and how you can do that in my upcoming webinar, which is from online invisible to social media superstar. But in this video, I'm going to share with you about engagement. So if you missed video one, you should find the link somewhere up here. I talked to you about how to actually turn your subscribers and followers into actual paying customers, right? How to take them from interested in what you do to actually invested, where they pay you for your services and your products, right? And your programs. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about engagement, because let's face it, none of us want crickets. We don't want crickets on our posts, right? If I go and I teach you how to build all these followings and get all these thousands of people to follow you, but then at the end of the day you have no engagement, they aren't connecting with you, it's like you're talking to your echo. I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to engage with them, right? So that's what I'm going to somebody's on the street. Okay. Hi. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how to actually talk to them and connect with them in a deep way so that they're engaging with you and so that you're not talking to crickets. Okay, let's banish the crickets for good. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about on today's video. I have some beautiful slides for you, so check them out. And remember, for the upcoming webinar, be there live, because I don't know if I'm going to have a replay. I honestly can't promise you that there will be a replay, and I don't want you to miss out. So go ahead and make sure that you get yourself into the webinar and that you're there live. I don't want you to miss out, so make sure you're there, make sure you catch it live, and enjoy this video where I talk to you about how to get your engagement going so that you don't talk to crickets, right? Because none of us want to be that person with hundreds of thousands of followers and then only 2 people liking or commenting. So let's fix that, girlfriend. All right, I'll talk to you soon. See you in the video, and then see you in the webinar. Bye. Hey, hey, hey! So let's dive into how to increase social media engagement and how to banish the crickets for good. Because again, as I said in the intro to this video, I don't want you to have like hundreds of thousands of followers, or even hundreds of followers, and then nobody's engaging with you. Nobody wants that. We don't want that. We want people to be engaged. And so in this case study video, I'm going to show you some behind the scenes of my own social media, different platforms, and show you what I did and why. I'm going to tell you why I did it so that you are not playing the guessing game, but you know exactly what to do and exactly why to do it, to make sure that you don't get the crickets, but that instead you have great engagement on your social media, right? So again, in video 1, if you haven't watched it yet, please check it out. I talked about how to turn your subscribers from interested to invested, and in that video I share with you how to actually get them to become paying clients, so that you're not just having a whole bunch of numbers but no moolah in the end to show. So in this one, I'm going to show you how to get them to engage. So the first thing is that you have to actually care. I talk about this in my book hashtag industry famous as well, but you have to actually care. Like, it sounds so obvious, right? But you have to actually care. And I know most of you who are watching this, you're world changers, you're catalysts, you have big missions, big dreams. You want to change the world, you want to, help people heal their weight situation, their relationships, their money situation, their mindset. And I know you have a great gift, and I know you actually do care, but you have to communicate that on social media, because people don't care until they know why you care and that you care. I don't remember who said that. I don't know if it's Simon Sinek, but I remember hearing that quote, that people don't care unless they know why you care. and also that you even care. So show on social media that you care. Like, put that out there. So here's an example of me doing this. So here you can see this is a post. It's actually just a picture of this flower that I took in the backyard of this hibiscus flower. And the funny thing is that I had over 1,000 and like over 1,000 people liked it, and I also had quite a number of comments as well. But here's what the post said. And I didn't even use a whole bunch of hashtags because on Instagram you use hashtags to get rankings. Hashtags on Instagram is kind of like SEO, search engine optimization on Google. So you have to use hashtags to get found, which I'll talk about that on the webinar. However, I didn't even use a whole bunch of hashtags here. I literally just gave a message from my heart. I said, I thought about who my ideal client was. I was actually thinking about one specific person, and I knew she was struggling with something. She was playing small, she was hiding. And I literally said in the post, I said, bloom. You have a right to bloom. The flowers don't play small. They don't shrink or hide. They know they are enough. They let their truest, most vivid selves bloom. It's your turn. Do something to share your spark in your biz today. Bloom today, and let's see your inner rock star shine. Because let's face it, being you is one of the best marketing tips I could ever give. And I put hearts, right? So I'm actually just giving up. It's not a pitch. It's not a small like, oh, what's your favorite lipstick? Like, it's I'm giving them, even though those are good too, those are good strategies too, and we'll talk about them on the webinar. But when I posted this, I posted it from my heart, and I connected with a really beautiful photo that wasn't a photographer. I didn't have to buy expensive stock photos. I literally went outside, saw this flower. I'm like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. This flower doesn't need permission to shine. Snap, post, and I did it right there in the moment. Thought of one of my clients, and look at that. 4 hashtags. One of them happens to be a branded hashtag, which, not many people are searching for that. So unless they are. And so here, that's what I did, and one over 1,000 likes. Another example, another step is step 2, to be yourself and show your personality, show vulnerability, and share your story. So when I say this, I'm actually going to show you the 3 examples of each of them, and I'm going to show you here. So personality, right? You have to be yourself. Here I already said, in this other one, being you is the best marketing tip I could give, and it really is, especially when it comes to engagement. Here's why. Look at this video. I literally did this a couple hours ago. Um, and I shared it was the scariest thing I've done this month. So one that's showing vulnerability, it's the scariest thing I've done this month. But if you watch the video, you'll see that I'm being my normal crazy self, my weird eccentric my clients call it energetic self. As you can see, like Sanira, she's one of my clients. She's like, go diva, go, woo toot. So she's feeling the vibe. She's in the party. She's engaging. She's excited. And here you see 62 people watched it, and 11, people gave their hearts or their likes. And then even this morning, since waking up, I've seen that some of you have already commented to say that you're gonna get the book. Because for those of you who don't know, this video was talking about the fact that I was so scared to write the book. Like, I was really I messaged my book coach, and I was like, oh my gosh, should I really do this? I was really nervous. And I shared that in the video. And here and now, when I moved past that fear, I felt so relieved. And I was just saying, yo, guys, like, if you have a fear, just work through it, because you will feel so good at the end of the day. And I was being myself. Look, even my hair, like, this was how I was. Like, I didn't put on any makeup for this video. I actually went out earlier in the day, and that was how I was. Like, my hair was in 2 buns, looking like Minnie Mouse, and I was just being myself. And the thing is, when you be yourself, the people who are not your ideal clients, they won't be attracted to it. But that's actually a good thing, because the people who are your ideal clients, they will love it and they will stick around. So here's another way of showing your personality. This one was me giving a whole bunch of tough love. So every now and again, Chanel has mood swings. Yes, I do. I have mood swings in my business. Sometimes I'm exciting, sometimes I'm funny, sometimes I'm, happy. But there are times when I come on and I'm like kicking people's butts. I'm like, get out of your own way. Ditch the excuses. Drop the drama. Nobody wants to hear that mess. Like, get off your butt and take action, right? So sometimes I get into that moody phase, or that like aggressive kind of thing, and that's a part of my personality, and that's just a part of who I am. And so I this post shows, it says wanting is not enough, and the word not is in bright red. It's standing out there, and I said when I started my business, I spent months and weeks in la la land wishing and hoping and wanting, and you know what I got? Nothing! Exclamation mark. So it's really a firm, hard, painful thing to read, but so necessary, and it also helps me to be myself without feeling like, oh, I always have to be what people want me to be. I from day one, from the get-go, I show up as myself, and if you don't like it, then bye. But at least I be myself, and the people who stay, they engage because they like me for who I really am, and not because I'm putting on a facade of perfection. So the next thing is be vulnerable, right? This one, July 15th was the day when I was sleeping in the locker back in 2014, July 15th, 2014. That was the day I slept in a locker in Switzerland, and I was homeless. And for me, it was one of the lowest points. Actually, I never even told my father about it or my sister about it until in 2016, like almost 2 years after. It was like a year and a half after. That's when I told them what happened. But that was my reality. That was what my situation was, because I really could not afford. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any. I had literally $0 in my bank account. And so on the second anniversary, the first anniversary, I was still broke and still trying to figure out my business. By that time, I had only booked one client. But by the second anniversary, I was already at consistent 5K months. And shortly after this post, I actually hit consistent 10K months. But I was just so proud of myself for the growth, for the transformation, you know, moving from that place, that lowest point of my life, and finally saying, oh my gosh, I'm actually an entrepreneur. I don't have to work for anybody else. I get to make my own rules. I get to have my own schedule, my own time. And so I shared this vulnerable moment. Like, I actually went and found the photo of me in the locker. As you can see, it was cold. I didn't even have like the jacket or anything, so I had my scarf over my head. My hair was blonde because you can. And if you read in my book, you will hear when I talk about when I went through that existential crisis, that identity crisis. So I shaved off my head and dyed it like blonde, like platinum blonde. So that was my hair. I was cold. Switzerland in July is not that warm. If you've ever been, it's not that warm. And so I had my little scarf over my head to keep me warm. I'm like curled up and even through all of that, I was still smiling with my one backpack with all my life in that bag, and then my other bags were outside of the locker because I was in the locker. But anyway, so this was vulnerable, and as you can see, 68 people reacted to this. Some people were like shocked, because they knew me when I became this person, the not Photoshop, photo shoot and glamorous and fancy hair and everything. And I mean, before I had that down moment, I was an overachiever and I did accomplish a lot of things, but nobody knew about this down phase, and so people were shocked. And then people commented and stuff. So this is another way to be engaging, to share your story and not be afraid to be vulnerable. So the next thing, number three, for getting engagement and ditching the crickets, is giving great value. Giving great value. Now, if you talk to people who are in this community who watch my Facebook lives whenever I have like trainings, not necessarily like daily lives. I mean, the daily lives are great value too, I believe. I do share tips and things like that. Even if you watch like the ones I did last week, you'll see that I give tips. But if you've ever been on one of my challenges or one of my trainings, I used to do something called Training Thursday every Thursday. I may continue to do it, maybe not. I'm still on the fence about that one. But I used to do a training every single Thursday, and people were like getting like crazy results from the training. So let me show you an example of a video that I did. So this is from my magnetic marketing 5-day challenge. This is a screenshot. Don't watch the crazy face. But again, I'm showing you that this happens. This is how you look on when Facebook freezes your frame. So on day one of the challenge, you can see here 104 comments, 40 views, and 111 Linda plus 11 other people liked it and things like that. So 40 views, 104 comments, and this was from my day one of my challenge, and this was day one. So if you were to look at this video, probably like on day, like all the way at the end down to say day 5 when the challenge ended, a lot of people went back and watched this video. But this was just live. All of these results were live during the challenge. So this doesn't include replay views, it doesn't include the replay comments, it doesn't include the replay likes and all of those things too. So that's just one example of giving great value. People engage because you're dishing the goods. Here's another behind the scenes from one of the days of that same challenge. I was dishing the goods. I actually went out and I bought this whiteboard specifically for the challenge to teach the people in my community. I because there was no way I was gonna like be able to teach you what I wanted to teach you and show you this funnel on how to get people to pay you, to go from not knowing you to buying your tripwire, to buying your lead magnet, buying your like not lead magnet, sorry, to buying your core offer, buying your packages, where you're gonna make your upsells. Like there's no way I could teach you this with just the explaining by talking. So I went and I bought a whiteboard and I drew it and I showed them in the training step by step by step. By the way, this is available in my magnetic marketing course. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to send an email to admin@missinspire.com and we can get you signed up for one of the magnetic marketing so you can get access to this training that I did that time. So the fourth step is that you want to have a call to action. And when I say a, I mean one single call to action. You tell people to do one thing. So when you go and you say to somebody, like my page, comment, share, subscribe, share with a friend, tag a friend, sign up for the webinar, get my ebook, get my PDF, get my audio. Oh, don't forget to watch the next video that I did yesterday and come back tomorrow and tell me how your day was. Like 900,000 call to actions in one breath, your ideal clients will be overwhelmed, annoyed, and they will scream and literally run for the hills. And you don't want that. So you have to have one call to action. I really mean that one, maximum two. So here's an example of one of my one call to actions. So I said to the group, I posted and I said, what should I call the ladies in the group? So I said, this group is for rockstar coaches on the rise. And it's a place where you can come to learn how to stand out, get visible, and become hashtag industry famous, which happens to be the name of my book. So you can see that I've been using that hashtag for a very long time, and how to get hashtag irresistible in your industry. So what should we call ourselves? Joy came up with irresistibles. Kiana came up with irresistible ladies. What's your suggestion? And then I said, this is the call to action. Drop it in the comments. I would really appreciate your feedback. So that was that. I had one call to action, and I think Jenny came up with rock stars because I already called you ladies. I always called you ladies rock stars. I used to say, hey rock stars, hey gorgeous lovelies, and um, Jenny came up with Jenny, which is a member of the community and one of my previous clients. Hi, Jenny, if you're watching this. She came up with rocks. She said rock stars. I was like, okay, so as of now, all the ladies in this girl squad in my Facebook group and my community, you are called rock stars. And that's where that originated from. You can see here, I had one call to action and then the engagement came in. Number 5 is to actually celebrate the small numbers. I know sometimes we feel like, oh, but enough people aren't liking, they aren't commenting. And it's so funny because somebody in this community actually messaged me yesterday and she said, Chanel, I don't always comment and I don't always like, but I want you to know that I am watching. She's watching. And maybe it's invisibility or whatever it is, but she's there, she is watching, she's paying attention, and she appreciates what I do. And I want you to know that people are watching, they are watching. They may not always comment, they may be, maybe they don't like, they don't share, they don't, but they're there and they're watching and they see you. And so when one person comments, celebrate that one person, reply to them, comment and say, hey, thank you so much for your time, thank you for being a part of the community. Appreciate that person and love on that person, because that person will become a brand advocate, a brand evangelist. Like they're not just a subscriber, they're that's your tribe. They're not just a subscriber, they've upgraded themselves from subscriber to tribe member. They're like, you know massive. And when you appreciate them, they will continue to do that. And then when new people join and they see that person engaging, it encourages them to engage too. But if you don't appreciate the small numbers, don't think that hundreds and thousands of people, like when I showed you this post here on my Instagram of the 1,000 plus people who went and liked it, like that was because I was engaging. All the people who were on my Instagram, I would say thank you for being here, thank you for liking, thank you. I would reply when they commented. I would laugh and reply to them. It takes a lot of time to do it, but you have to do it because that will lay the foundation so that when you do get to those 500 subscribers or those thousands or your first 10,000, it will feel so rewarding because those people are not just, they don't just like you, but they're super engaged, they're super in it to win it, and they're super connected. So that's my advice to you: celebrate the small numbers. Here's my example of this. So I did this video, which is talking about stop comparing yourself. It's about quality and not just quantity. And that's a perfect example of this point, that is not just about the number of people who are liking your post, it's also about the quality. Are they really engaged with you? Do they really know, like, and trust you? Are they gonna pay you? Are they going through your funnel anyway? Like, who are these people? And so here, in this video, I did this video, I posted it, and 149 people viewed it, but only two people liked it. One person shared it, and there was, I think, one comment. And with that, what it shows is that the two people who watched it, they didn't just enjoy it so much that they liked it. Somebody actually shared it. It was shared. So when it was shared, that means other people get to engage with it. 149 people viewed it. And remember that Facebook does counts a view, meaning somebody watched X amount of seconds. So people actually went through and started watching the video, and some people may have watched all the video. So I celebrate those people, and I like Jody, like I appreciate her so much, and the other person who, like, I appreciate them so much because they allow me to express myself and to talk about topics that I find interesting, and they also find it clearly interesting too. So I appreciate those people. And whenever I post, I know that they're going to be there watching it, liking it, commenting, sharing, something, because they are engaged on that deep level. So I really want to encourage you to really know that the small numbers happen. It won't happen on all your posts. It might happen on most posts, depending on how often you're posting and the times you're posting. Those are ways to optimize your posting, to make sure you're posting at the right time of day, that you're posting in the right days of the week, the content, the images, the headlines, those things matter, and those are the things to optimize it. But whenever you post, remember that people liked it. I once had a client who, she did her first ever blog post and she shared it on her Facebook page, and 15 people liked it, and she's like, only 15 people liked it, and I'm like, 15 people liked it, and I think like two people shared it. So embrace the small numbers, celebrate the small numbers, because those people become your tribe, they become your raving fans, they become your brand advocates, and then they bring their friends over and they stay there, and other people who are new come and see them engaging, and it encourages them to engage too. So here's some bonus tips for you. I have two bonus tips. Number one is, don't be afraid to repel people. If you are always trying to play safe and be nice and get everybody to like you, don't be afraid to repel people. I once posted this video that I was talking about boundaries and setting healthy boundaries in your business with your clients and things. And this one girl got triggered by it in a way. She replied and she was saying something like, you are supposed to be inspiring and this is blah, blah, blah. And it didn't matter to me because I knew I was talking specifically to my ideal clients who have clients. And sometimes they are codependent, and sometimes they become people pleasers, and they let other people overstep their boundaries with them. And so I knew who I was talking to. I knew what my message was. I knew what I meant. And the person who I did the video for, she actually messaged me after, who was one of my one-on-one high-end clients. She messaged me and she's like, thank you so much for that video, Chanel. So don't be afraid to repel people. You can't always please people. Like, even just the fact that I use the word famous, I know some people get turned off by it, but I know my ideal clients don't mind it. They want to be superstars. They want to stand out. They want to be the go-to expert, and they're like, there's no reason for you to feel guilty about that. So I talk to my people because I know they will appreciate the message. And don't be afraid to repel people, because when you are afraid to repel people, if you talk to everyone, you actually talk to no one. It says, if you stand for nothing, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So stand for something. Don't be afraid to talk about the things that matter to you. You will attract your tribe, and you will repel the people who don't get it. And it's not that they won't ever get it and they won't ever come around, because that lady, when I explained, not really explained, but I replied to her comment, she saw what I meant and she said, okay, she understood or whatever. But don't think that just because somebody doesn't like it, that you shouldn't do it. Okay? You will all they If they're not the right fit, they won't stay in your community, they'll unsubscribe, they'll unlike you, whatever it is. But know that the people who are meant to be in your tribe, they will stay. So don't be afraid to repel people. Don't be afraid. I know codependency exists in our community, ladies, but let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Don't hold it back anymore. Let it go. Let it go. Please don't be afraid to repel people. And number two is to hack the algorithm. Now, this is my top secret tip. Bonus tip. All right, one of. Um, so in this tip, it's about hacking the algorithm. So here's listen up. Okay, listen up carefully. When you are using Facebook to post, okay, now imagine you're using Facebook, you're creating all these posts. When you post on Facebook and somebody replies, I will tell you this, wait about, a good 3 hours, unless you're in like a conversation, but wait a while and then reply to that person. Why? Because for every time you comment or somebody comments, Facebook bumps the post up to the top of the feed because it becomes relevant again. So when it becomes bumped up to the top of the feed, then other people see it. They comment, and then you wait a bit, and then you go in and you reply, and then it bumps it back up to the top of the feed, and then you wait again, and then people come back, and then they comment, and then you wait, and then you reply, and then it bumps it up, and you will have a post that for an entire day is at the top of everybody's feed because people are actually engaging with it. So that's an algorithm hack. The likes, yes, it helps a bit, but when it helps more when they comment. So comment as a not just as a reply, but actually make a new comment. Not just reply, because on Facebook you can reply. When it's the reply, it just goes to that person. But when you make a new comment and tag the person, it bumps it back up. So that's a little, Facebook algorithm hacking technique right there. Oh my gosh, I used to do that in Facebook groups when I used to post a lot in other people's Facebook groups. I used to do that a lot, and I remember one of my posts ended up having like I don't remember the exact number, but it was like a whole bunch. I was shocked in like one day. A whole. If I can find the screenshot, I'll post it in the webinar. Give you guys a little sneak peek of that. If not, then just know it was a lot of people, and I was just like shocked because it was so many people. But it was because I kept commenting and replying every time someone else would comment, so it kept bumping my post up to the top. So that's my algorithm hack. Now here's your homework. You're gonna comment below. You're gonna comment below, and you're going to share in the comments what your favorite tip of all the five were. So I shared with you 5 tips and then 2 bonus. So you have 7 tips. I want you to pick the one that was your favorite. First one, let's go through them quickly again. The first one was to care. The second one was to be yourself. The third one was to give value. The fourth one was to have one call to action. The fifth one was to celebrate your small numbers. And then the bonus was don't be afraid to repel and hack the algorithm. So which one is your favorite? Comment below in the comments and let me know which one is your favorite and why. Why is it your favorite? And then I'll be in the comment section engaging with you and connecting with you and chatting with you. Now, reminder, our webinar is coming up. Okay, so don't miss the webinar. If join live, because again, I can't promise that there will be a replay, so please don't miss it. I don't want you to miss it. Please don't miss it. I will be doing the webinar live and you can catch the webinar. Don't miss that, please. Right? So it's from online invisible to social media superstar. And there's it's a brand new free training that's going to teach you how to go from online invisible to social media superstar. If you've enjoyed this video and if you've enjoyed video 1, you'll definitely enjoy the webinar. So don't miss that, my darling. And I look forward to seeing you live on the webinar. And I also look forward to seeing your comments below. Yes, comment below. Let me hear what your win is and what your biggest, your favorite tip is. All right. Love you. Bye.